Hi, everyone. Hello, hello. It's time for Motivation Monday with Lois. I'll give you a few seconds to get in. Trying to see on my other device. So, welcome, welcome, welcome. My name is Lois Goudeau, and I'm a licensed clinical professional counselor. I am the founder of the Facebook group Mosaic Families Connecting, and also the coaching program Mosaic Transformation Academy. Within the academy, I work with individuals who are struggling with the challenges and changes of blending a family. I also work with them, with each member, so they will feel a sense of belonging, so that they will feel heard and understood and have a degree of happiness within the family. By doing this, they move from struggling in the family to having strong bonds, mutual respect in the family. So today, I thought I'd talk about something I read today, and it was very interesting. So I was reading one of these business articles, and they were talking about 5 things that people don't want to admit. And one of the first things on the list was that people don't want to admit is that they don't know what they're doing. And I was like, wow, now that's an eye opener, because a lot of times people don't know what they're doing in situations. They don't know what they're doing in their careers. They don't know what they're doing in their personal life, in their relationship. And even when they have major life-changing events, they don't know what they're doing. And it's okay. It's okay to not know what you're doing, because for one, experience is the best teacher. And when you don't know what you're doing, as you experience things, you learn from it. So on one hand, it's good, but when it doesn't become good is when you don't know what you're doing and it's affecting other people. That's when it becomes an issue. And I'll give you an example. Let's just say you don't know how to drive and you're practicing in the parking lot, or like I did when I learned how to drive. My father took me to a cemetery and because of course I couldn't kill anybody because they were already dead. And so I'm practicing in the cemetery, or you're practicing in the parking lot. It's okay that you don't know how to drive, but it becomes an issue when you decide, I think I want to take it out on the highway and I don't want to have anybody in with me to kind of show me and help me. Now it's an issue, because not only are you putting yourself in danger, but now I have other people that I have to worry about. So that would be an example of where it's not good to not know what you're doing, and it's okay. And so the second thing that was on the list was, I wrote that one down because that was a good one, is realizing that no decision is really a decision. So some people, they won't make a decision and they're like, you know what, I'm just not going to say anything. I think about this a lot when you have people on a job and they're complaining about something, and they'll ask you and you're like, you know what, I don't have anything to say. Well, by not making a decision, you really are making a decision. What I've heard over time is that when you don't say something, then you're in agreement with what's going on. That's just what I've heard. And so sometimes people wait until there's no other option and they think, okay, I'll make a decision now. But the truth of the matter is, when you only have one option left, that is the decision. And I was thinking about this whole pandemic, and when they had a moratorium on the renters and they didn't have to pay their rent or didn't have to pay their mortgage. And there was a decision that people could have called up their landlords and paid partial on it, or they could have called up the mortgage, and they didn't do anything. And then when the moratorium was lifted, now they didn't have a decision. They had to move. And so they realized, you know what? I'm going to decide where I want to live. Well, you don't have a decision because you have to move anyway. So that would be an example of how sometimes people wait until there's not a decision to make a decision. So what does this have to do with blended families? Because that's what this is all about, blended families. Right now, a lot of people have a decision. You have a decision about your blended family, how you want it to run, what type of blended family you want to have. But sometimes, and some people are just sitting back and not doing anything. You know what you don't like about it, you know what you want to change, but you're not doing anything. And so by making no decision, you're making a decision. And the decision is, I'm okay with things the way they are. And if you are, that's fine, no judgment. But the thing to know is that nothing's going to change. It's going to remain the same because there is no decision made. And the next thing is, you don't know what you're doing. And that's okay not to know what you're doing. But of course, you not knowing what you're doing, it's affecting other people in the relationship. And so when I read that, I said, that is some very good advice to kind of look at is that one, I may not know what I'm doing. And two, by not making a decision, I really am making a decision. And I continue to go back to when I had my daughter, or even when I started teaching, because I'm also a special ed teacher. I didn't know what I was doing. And thank God they assigned not just a supervising teacher to me, but a supervising teacher that knew what she was doing. She had been teaching for a while. So she helped me as I navigated through my first 5 years of teaching. And also, when I had my children, I didn't just go to anyone. I went to someone that was experienced with children to kind of help me and navigate me in what I was doing. So that's a Motivation Monday today. I just want you to stop and think, do I know what I'm doing? And if not, of course, it's not closing. Okay. All right, there we go. This thing is still on.